Title: No, we don't want your slavery or your pyramid scheme. Chapter 1: A Stranger's Proposal. Captain Jane Harper stood on the bridge of the ESS Endeavour, her flagship hovering in low Earth orbit. She ran a hand through her cropped auburn hair and pinched the bridge of her nose. The day had started promisingly. Routine patrol, some calibration checks, maybe a quiet lunch break. But fate had other ideas. On the main view screen loomed the image of an alien diplomat, a towering mass of lavender tentacles, a cluster of eye stalks like a mobile chandelier, and a voice that gurgled through the universal translator with unsettling cheer. "So let me get this straight," Jane said, drawing a long, steadying breath. "You traveled across half the galaxy to offer us slavery?" She added a note of incredulity to her tone, as if clarifying whether they'd misunderstood the entire point of first contact. Behind her, Commander Arturo Reyes, her second-in-command, suppressed a grin. He stood at tactical, arms folded, trying not to let his amusement show. Crew members along the consoles exchanged baffled glances. First contact had been long prepared for, but no one had considered that. "We come in peace," might translate to, "We come to enslave you." The alien bobbed, its tentacles twitching in what the translator helpfully labeled as enthusiastic agreement. "Precisely," it exclaimed, tones warbling. "Isn't it wonderful? Eternal peace under our benevolent chains." Jane opened her mouth, closed it, then tried again. "We get peace, you say, if we surrender and become your slaves. That's your sales pitch?" The alien's eye stalks pivoted, presumably to focus on her better. "Yes, yes. Eternal peace guaranteed." The creature seemed puzzled at her lack of gratitude. "Surely no better gift can be offered. A lifetime of obedience and servitude, free from the burdens of decision-making. We have ergonomic whips, excellent dental plans, truly a comprehensive benefits package." Arturo let out a snort, quickly masked as a cough. Jane shot him a look that said, "Really?" She cleared her throat. "In exchange for becoming your slaves, we get what exactly? Aside from chains and whips." "Peace," the alien repeated, as if perplexed why this wasn't obvious. "We have done this on countless worlds. No one has ever turned us down. It's tradition." Jane's eyebrow rose. She pictured how this must have gone on other planets. Less prepared civilizations might have folded like cheap lawn chairs at the first mention of eternal peace. Humanity, however, had a particular history with the concept of slavery. They hated it. Glogdor the Magnanimous. The alien had introduced itself earlier, a name worthy of a used car salesman from Andromeda. She decided to shorten it. "Gloggy," Jane said, voice dripping with sarcasm so heavy you could paint a wall with it. "Let's break this down. We are a species that, not too long ago, fought countless wars to free ourselves and others from slavery. It's, how should I put it, a big no-no around here. I'm shocked no one's explained that to you." The alien's tentacles wriggled in surprise. "No one has refused before. This is most irregular." "Guess we're special," Commander Reyes chimed in, smoothing his uniform jacket. The crew around him chuckled quietly. Some had tears of laughter in their eyes, barely holding it together. Jane considered her training manuals on interstellar diplomacy. None mentioned politely declining enslavement. She decided to go with honesty. "Gloggy, we appreciate the visit, but we must decline. Hard pass. In fact, we're not even going to counteroffer. Just no. Take your wonderful gift of chains and skedaddle back to wherever you came from." Glogdor's entire body sagged. Its eye stalks drooped. You refuse eternal peace?" Its voice hit a note of genuine heartbreak. "What of our ergonomic whips? They are 30% more comfortable than leading competitors' models." It sounded proud, as if expecting applause. Jane laughed out loud. She couldn't help it. The absurdity was too much. Gloggy, we don't want whips. We don't want peace at the cost of freedom. We like making our own decisions. Thank you very much. There was a long pause. The alien skin darkened to a bruised plum color, some emotional reaction Jane guessed. Very well, Glogdor said softly. I shall inform my superiors. They will be most displeased. Sorry to disappoint, Jane said, not sounding sorry at all. Now be a dear and show yourself out. We've got a planet to run, one without chains. Before leaving, Glogdor turned, a note of plaintive confusion in its gurgling tone. Perhaps next time we shall bring a fruit basket? Fruit basket would be lovely, Jane said sweetly. Better PR, trust me. As the alien departed, its ship vanishing in a silent burst of FTL, the crew erupted into laughter. Arturo wiped his eyes. Captain, that was not what I expected from first contact. Jane slumped in her command chair. Me neither. But hey, no blood spilled, no enslaved planet. I'd call it a win. Chapter 2, Double Trouble. They barely had time to exhale before alarms chimed. Jane straightened up. Report. The comms officer spoke, voice uncertain. Captain, the alien ship is powering up weapons. It seems Gloggy didn't take rejection well. Jane grinned, a predatory light in her eyes. I guess we have to show them the door more forcefully. Arturo cracked his knuckles. Nothing like a little demonstration of our own brand of interstellar customer service. The alien vessel fired first, bolts of shimmering energy slamming into the Endeavor's shields. The ship rocked, but held. Jane barked orders. Return fire. Let's show these tentacle tyrants what a human no looks like. The Endeavor's cannons blazed sapphire streaks into the void, hammering the alien's shields. On screen, Glogdor reappeared, aghast. You barbarians! You dare fight back? Jane shrugged. You offered slavery, you got turned down, and now you fire on us? Did you really expect us to just surrender? But no species has ever refused us. Your stubbornness is unacceptable. Unacceptable to you, Jane corrected. Another volley reduced the alien shields to 60%. The tactical readout showed the alien ship faltering. To us, it's just Tuesday. Glogdor sputtered, tentacles thrashing. We shall take our leave. Mark my words, Earthlings, we will remember this insult. Jane blew it a kiss through the screen. Remember it well. And remember, next time, try LinkedIn for your job offers. Less chance of starting an interstellar incident. The alien ship retreated, engines glowing bright, then disappeared into FTL with a final flash. The crew cheered, exchanging high fives. No casualties, no real damage, just a bizarre encounter to add to the annals of Earth's first contact history. Chapter 3. The Aftermath and Odd Interference. As calm returned, Jane reviewed sensor logs, shaking her head. We prepared decades for first contact, linguists, cultural experts, diplomats, and the first real proposal we get is slavery with a side of whips. Can you believe the audacity? Arturo chuckled. At least we handled it gracefully, if you count sarcasm and threats as grace. Comms chimed again. The comms officer grimaced. Captain, incoming transmission from Earth. Some guy calling himself Gerald Worthington of Galactic Enterprises? Jane groaned. Another salesman? She signaled to put it on screen. An impeccably dressed human appeared, big smile plastered on his face. Captain Harper, what a pleasure. I just caught the viral feed of your encounter with the alien slavers. Bravo. Galactic Enterprises would love to partner with you. How about an exciting multi-level marketing opportunity to sell human-made goods to aliens across the galaxy. Silence fell over the bridge. Jane massaged her temples. I must be cursed. We fend off slavers, and now a human wants us to join a galactic MLM? Let me guess, you want us to hawk vacuum cleaners to tentacle monsters? Gerald's grin never faltered. Snuggies, ShamWows, and veggie choppers, Captain. The galaxy is ripe for human products. With your heroic public image, you'd be perfect for the role of ambassador of capitalism. Arturo coughed. Permission to fire photon torpedoes at our own planet, Captain? Jane gave him a half-smile. Tempting. She turned back to Gerald. We're a bit busy defending Earth from actual alien threats, not running a cosmic Tupperware party. Thanks but no thanks. Gerald's eyebrows rose. You're passing on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Yep. Transmission ended. Jane nodded to the comm officer, who happily cut the link. The crew snorted, shaking heads in disbelief. Jane leaned back, laughing helplessly. What's next? Alien timeshare presentations on a gas giant moon. As if the universe listened, another beep. The comms officer hesitated. Captain, a Neptunian Duke claims he needs help transferring his royal space credits if we send him a small deposit first. The entire bridge cracked up. Jane sighed. Okay, that's it. From now on, any suspicious message is spam. We're done with nonsense. Chapter 4. A Sudden Celebrity. Soon after, Arturo approached with a datapad. Captain, bad news or good news? Depends how you see it. Your encounter with Glogdor has gone viral across galactic networks. Someone recorded it and posted it on GalacTube. 1 billion views already. Jane blinked. 1 billion? That was fast. The galaxy must be bored. The comment section was a chaos of aliens and humans alike. Some praised human courage, others were scandalized. Memes of Jane telling off Gloggy flooded. Spacebook. There was even fan art. Well, Jane said, at least it's good PR that we're not pushovers. Who knew sarcasm was a cosmic language? Arturo laughed. It might scare off future slavers, or at least make them think twice before offering us chains as a gift. Jane considered the political ramifications. Earth just made a grand first impression of being sassy, stubborn, and not to be trifled with. Could be worse. I'll take it. Chapter 5. Another call, another curveball. Moments after coping with her sudden celebrity status, the sensors picked up a massive energy signature, a colossal ship, far larger than Glogdor's, drifting into range. The crew tensed. Jane straightened. Let's hope this one isn't offering discount chainsaws or magic diet pills. They established contact. The view screen resolved into an image of a giant floating brain encased in swirling energy fields, with two keen, luminous eyes. The crew stared. Jane cleared her throat, unsure what to expect. Greetings, humans of Earth, said the brain telepathically, its voice resonating in everyone's mind. We are the Sarah Brand, Guardians of Galactic Knowledge. We observed your interactions. Fascinating. You refused slavery and mockery from aliens who presumed your weakness. Impressive. Jane arched a brow. Finally, someone who starts a conversation without trying to enslave or sell us something. This might be refreshing. Arturo nodded. Agreed, Captain. The Sarah Brand continued. We have come not to enslave or swindle, but to offer knowledge. In exchange, we desire something you possess, something rare, your humor. Jane blinked. Our humor? You want our jokes in exchange for galactic wisdom? Murmurs spread through the crew. This day was full of surprises. Yes, the Sarah Brand said, tendrils shimmering. We have studied countless species, but none uses humor as a coping mechanism so extensively as humans. Teach us your humor, and we shall share our store of knowledge. Jane let out a chuckle. You want a stand-up routine for cosmic secrets? Sold. Let's do it. But fair warning, our jokes can get weird. Arturo whispered. Captain, we're about to educate a giant brain in knock-knock jokes. I can't believe this job sometimes. Me neither, but let's roll with it, Jane whispered back, amused. Chapter 6. The comedy lesson begins. So began the strangest cultural exchange in human history. Jane started with basics, knock-knock jokes. The Sarah Brand attempted them, stumbling over the concept. The crew egged it on, encouraging the cosmic entity to feel the subversion of expectations. When the Sarah Brand finally got a basic knock-knock joke, Jane and the crew clapped and cheered. The entity pulsed with pride. Its telepathic voice brimmed with excitement. Incredible! Such complexity hidden in simplicity. Humor breaks down fear, fosters empathy. After the warm-up, Jane moved to puns. She explained how wordplay functioned across human languages. The Sarah Brand struggled with homonyms, especially since it processed concepts telepathically, not vocally. But after multiple examples, what do you call cheese that isn't yours? Nacho cheese. The entity emitted mental vibrations akin to laughter. This is remarkable, the Sarah Brand said. We see now that humor is not trivial. It's a weapon against despair, a tool to understand the absurdity of existence. Jane grinned. Exactly. Humor keeps us sane. We've faced horrors and challenges, but we laugh to survive them. Chapter 7. Slapstick and Dad Jokes. Next, Jane tackled physical comedy, from slipping on banana peels to pies in the face. This required demonstrations. The crew watched their captain stage a short slapstick routine involving a carefully placed banana peel and a fake stumble. The Sarah Brand analyzed the scenario, concluding that humor arises from unexpected mishaps without real harm. Then came dad jokes, groan-worthy puns, and one-liners that made the crew roll their eyes. The Sarah Brand found these perplexing. Jane explained that the very groan they elicit is part of their charm. It's humor that acknowledges its own lameness, forging a bond between teller and listener. After a few attempts, the Sarah Brand tried a dad joke. Why did the star go to school? To get brighter. The crew groaned loudly. The Sarah Brand interpreted this as success. We have induced the desired groan, it said proudly. Chapter 8. Galactic Wisdom Unveiled. As the Sarah Brand's appreciation of humor deepened, it began to unlock its vault of cosmic knowledge for the Endeavor's computers. Data streams of advanced physics, new energy sources, star maps, and cultural compendiums poured in. The crew gasped as screens lit up with new data. Earth's understanding of the universe leaped forward by centuries in minutes. Arturo whispered, Captain, we're getting star charts of regions we never imagined, formulae for stabilizing wormholes, medical cures. This is incredible. Jane nodded, deeply moved. Who knew laughter could yield such wealth? Sarah Brand, she addressed the entity warmly, we are honored. Your gift is beyond measure. The Sarah Brand's eyes softened. We too are honored. We never imagined humor to be a key to bridging understanding. You have taught us that even the direst conflict can be softened by a well-placed jest. Chapter 9. New Allies and Possibilities. Now that Earth had cosmic knowledge and a reputation for clever defiance, what next? As the Sarah Brand hovered, Jane asked, Will you help us spread this humor? Maybe it can prevent wars, like Glaudor's slaver attempt. The Sarah Brand considered. Yes. We shall weave humor into our next encounters, show others how to laugh at arrogance and fear. Perhaps this can calm certain belligerent empires. A ripple of excitement passed through the crew. They imagined a future where, instead of plasma cannons firing first, an alien diplomat might open negotiations with a joke. Earth's legacy could be cosmic comedy ambassadors. Jane suppressed a laugh at the irony. Arturo nudged her. Not what we expected, Captain. She smirked. Nope, but I'll take laughter over lasers any day. Chapter 10. The Price of Fame. As the Sarah brand concluded the data transfer, Earth's communication lines lit up again. This time, it was official, a hail from multiple alien species curious about this funny planet. Requests poured in. Could Earth send comedians on tour? Would Jane host a galactic late-night talk show? Would humans provide scripts for alien sitcoms? Jane facepalmed. The crew howled. Captain, said the comms officer, tears of laughter in her eyes. We're being asked to pitch a sitcom about a human and alien roommates trying to run a space diner. I'm not making this up. Jane shook her head, amused and exasperated. I guess every success has side effects. Let's filter those requests. Priority to diplomatic and scientific inquiries. Entertainment requests go into a separate folder. Maybe we'll get to them when we have time. The Sarah brand, detecting the crew's amusement, asked telepathically, Is this too much attention? We can help manage these requests. Humor must not overwhelm you. Jane laughed softly. We'll manage. Earth has dealt with celebrity culture before, just never on a galactic scale. We'll adapt. Chapter 11. A Legacy of Laughter. In the days and weeks that followed, a subtle shift spread across the galaxy. Rumors traveled faster than light. Earth, a formerly unknown backwater, had bested slavers with wit and turned away suspicious marketers. Most astonishingly, it earned the trust of the Sarah brand by teaching it to laugh. Other species approached Earth not with demands but curiosity. Diplomatic summits included humor breaks, moments when delegates shared funny stories. The tension of old rivalries eased in subtle ways. While not all conflicts vanished overnight, a seed was planted. The concept of humor, once seen as a strange human quirk, began to be recognized as a diplomatic tool, an emotional lingua franca bridging differences. Jane Harper, the unwilling star of cosmic stand-up, took pride in her crew's role. The Endeavor now carried not just weapons and scanners, but a library of jokes curated for different alien sensibilities. They tested jokes on simulations before using them in real negotiations, carefully calibrating puns to avoid cultural misfires. Chapter 12. The Return of Glogdor. One afternoon, a familiar signal appeared on sensors. Glogdor's ship was back. Jane's mood darkened. Oh, what now? Another attempt at slavery with a side of discounts? But this time, Glogdor opened with a joke. Greetings, Earthlings. We would like to, propose a new arrangement. Knock knock? The crew froze. Jane's jaw dropped. Arturo coughed. The entire bridge waited in stunned silence. Glogdor continued, uncertain. Knock knock. You're supposed to say who's there. Jane, still reeling, played along. Who's there? Squidface. Glogdor said meekly. Squidface who? Jane asked, eyebrows high. Squidface you tried to enslave, but who now humbly requests peaceful cultural exchange. Glogdor's tentacles wiggled in a manner approximating embarrassment. The bridge erupted in laughter. Jane actually applauded slowly. Gloggy, are you apologizing via knock-knock joke? Glogdor nodded, eye stalks dropping in shame. We learned from the galactic feeds that your humor turned away our misguided offer. We have come to say, we regret our actions. We brought a fruit basket. On screen, A hologram of a basket filled with alien fruits. The translator labeled them as edible, mostly safe, appeared. Jane grinned widely. The entire crew did. Gloggy, this is a massive improvement. Apology accepted. Let's talk peace without chains, shall we? Glogdor bowed. Yes, please. Eternal peace without slavery, just peace. Perhaps we can learn more jokes from you? Jane exchanged a look with Arturo. Sure, but first, let's talk about freedom and mutual respect. The new negotiation went smoothly. With humor as the icebreaker, Glogdor's species agreed to respect Earth's sovereignty and consider treaties based on trade and cultural exchange instead of enslavement. They even laughed at a few dad jokes, though their sense of humor was still developing. Chapter 13. The Galaxy's Comedy Club. As weeks turned into months, Earth and its new allies created forums for intercultural comedy. The Galactic Comedy Festival was planned on a neutral station. Species would share their humorous traditions. The Sarah Brand offered to act as judges, ensuring no misunderstanding escalated into conflict. Jane Harper found herself at the heart of this new movement. She gave keynote speeches on comedy as diplomacy, taught short workshops on sarcasm detection to delegates with stiff eye stalks, and even wrote a booklet, 101 Jokes to Avoid Starting a War. Arturo teased her about becoming the Galaxy's first joke admiral, but beneath the teasing lay pride. Earth had done something extraordinary. Chapter 14. Epilogue. Laughter Among the Stars. In a quiet moment after signing a new accord with Glogdor's species, a pact guaranteeing free cultural exchange and no enslavement, Jane Harper stood alone on the Endeavor's observation deck. The stars sprawled before her, infinite and silent, yet no longer cold and empty. She sipped her coffee, remembering how this adventure started. A ridiculous offer of slavery, her sarcastic refusal, and a barrage of improbable scenarios, from MLM schemes to giant brains craving jokes. It all led to a better outcome than she ever imagined. She whispered to herself, "We turned down slavery, got a cosmic stand-up career, and ended up saving who knows how many worlds from sorrow. Not bad for a day's work." At that moment, a soft chime, a private message from the Sarah Brand. Jane opened it, finding a simple line. "We have attempted a dad joke. Why did the meteor attend comedy school? Because it wanted to be a real star attraction. Is this considered humorous?" Jane laughed aloud, startling a junior officer passing by. She replied, "Keep practicing. You'll get there." She looked out at the galaxy. Sure, not every species would understand their jokes at once. Some might still come with guns blazing or shackles rattling. But humanity had a new tool, an unexpected shield, laughter. It forged alliances, turned aside threats, and opened dialogues where once there would be war. In the distant cosmos, she imagined countless beings trying their first knock-knock joke, exchanging puns, chuckling at stumbles. Maybe tomorrow's conflicts would be settled over who told the better punchline rather than who fired first. Jane Harper smiled, cradling her coffee cup. "Universe," she said quietly, "bring it on. We're ready. Armed not just with cannons, but with comedy. And if you still insist on nonsense, remember, we taught a giant brain to laugh. Don't think we can't do the same to you." With that final whisper, she turned and strolled back to the bridge, shoulders light, mind open, heart full of hope. The stars above twinkled, as if amused by the grand cosmic joke unfolding. End.